Hey everybody, welcome back. So I am gonna do another part of my color and chat from the Magical Witches book. I did like a part 1 yesterday, and I don't know what happened. It was weird. My camera just kind of shut off, and I didn't know that it had shut off, and then it turned itself right back on again, which was really weird. I don't know what happened. That was strange. So there's like a little tiny part 2 that's maybe less than 10 minutes long, I think, and I'll put that up before this one. But I went ahead yesterday evening and I finished coloring in with my markers, and I decided to not go with pink or black for this. I ended up using, and I was going to show you guys which one it was because it's kind of neat. Let me see. In my markers, what did I use here? I know the one was Desert Rose, which is this shade here. I don't know if you can see that or not, depending on the light. So that's Desert Rose. And then the orange color ended up being this one, which is called Adobe Orange. And it was kind of funny because after I did it, I was thinking I want harvest colors. And so when I finished it, I showed it to Keith, and he goes, "That looks just like Harry Potter colors." And I said, 10 points to Keith for knowing the Gryffindor colors. I know I'm a cheese, but that's how we roll around here. So yeah, I thought I'd show this to you guys though, because if you are ever coloring out of one of the Harry Potter books and using markers, which I don't know if you can even use markers in those or not, because they probably are double-sided. I don't have those books, but these two shades, Desert Rose and Adobe Orange, make perfect Gryffindor colors. So I thought that was kind of cool. And so I tried to keep the color palette as limited as I could, and then when I shade, I'll add a little bit more to it. But I just like it. Sometimes I have a bad habit of getting too many colors and I overwhelm myself. So I have my trusty, oops, I didn't mean to hit the camera, my trusty white Prismacolor, and then I'll show you guys really quick. I got my 150 set of Prismacolors here that I'm going to be working out of, and so what I'm going to do is go through with my white pencil and kind of highlight and then add some different colors in. And I have my sharpener on hand also, which is the Office Pro sharpener. It's a battery operated sharpener that I got for Christmas last year, and I love it, love it, love it. People always talk about their Prismacolors, how they break, and I can honestly tell you, I've had the 48 set of Prismacolors, and I have the 150 set, and I have never broken a pencil during sharpening. I have broke off a tip while coloring because I had it too sharp and I used too much pressure, but I have never had a pencil broken when I use the sharpener. So I did get this on Amazon. Well, actually Keith got it for me for Christmas, but I picked it out. So it's a little bit loud, but it does a very nice job. So I'm going to get started. I'm actually going to sharpen my white pencil, and it's a little bit loud, like I said. But it works good. So you get a nice, you can see, you get a nice tip there. That's probably a little bit too sharp, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the pumpkins first because, I don't know, I'm going to do that. And then I will, put in some yellow. I did this when I colored out of the Harvest Scenes book by Creative Haven, and I thought the pumpkins looked really cute that way. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, making sure that you guys can see where I'm at. I'm not zoomed in too much. Maybe I could try to zoom in just a tad. Nope, that's the wrong way. Just a tad. We'll see and see how that goes. I wanted to thank everybody for leaving really nice comments on my video. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me that you guys did that. And someone suggested that maybe I put the camera on my left side since I'm right-handed, and I think I will try that. However, I always lean onto my left side, and I lean over I lean onto my arm, so I don't know if that would work or not. But I thought maybe I will try that. So I'm just going into the center of each pumpkin here, like making a white streak, you know, like a white space, and then I'll fill that back in later with yellow. So I was waiting for the nurse. My father-in-law's nurse was coming today. So I was waiting for her to leave before I started filming this. We had to take him this morning. He's having a surgery done next week, Tuesday actually. Nothing serious, but he had to get blood work done on Wednesday. We took him in to get like what do you call it? Like a clearance from his family doctor before he could have the surgery. And the doctor said he looked really good, but when they went to get his labs, he was very dehydrated and they couldn't get any blood from him. All his veins were kind of flattened out. So we took him home, and they wanted us to give him lots of liquids and that, and then bring him back today, which is Friday, and try to draw the blood again. So this morning we took him in, my husband and I, and he was able to give blood because he actually drank quite a few liquids on Wednesday evening. Lots of like clear grape juice and water and some Verner's, which Verner's is a Michigan thing. It's I don't know if everybody's familiar with it. It's a ginger ale, but it's like a made in Michigan kind of thing. So I got 2 pumpkins done. I guess I'll go ahead and do the third one, and then I'll go back in with my yellow. So anyways, the nurse was coming out today just to check him over, which I guess she really didn't need to since he had been already at the doctor's office, even though it was just giving blood. He was doing pretty good today, so she's gonna come back out after his surgery next week. They're gonna keep him overnight on Tuesday, and probably, hopefully, if everything is well, they'll discharge him on Wednesday afternoon or morning. So I won't be here. I have to go to stay with my mother this week, or I'm going to go out on Sunday, I think, because she has to have cataract surgery and her evaluation appointment is Monday. Well, they are going to dilate her eyes and give her a very thorough exam. And so I have to be there for that, and I want to be there when they set up her surgery so that I can make sure I'm available to take her and pick her up and everything. So she lives about, I guess that last pumpkin was a little bit out of camera there. So yeah, so I have to go stay with her starting on Sunday, and I'm not sure exactly how long I'm gonna stay. So I'm gonna pick a yellow. I think I used canary yellow when I did it before on my other pumpkins. Let's see, lemon yellow. No, it wasn't yellow. Lemon. I want to say it was canary. I don't know if any of these are that shade though. Neon, lemon, jasmine. Must be in a different. Oh, maybe I have it in a different slot. Sometimes when I'm coloring something and I have a work in progress, let me see if I can find it here. I kind of put my pencils all over the place, and I know I'm the only person that keeps their Prismacolors still in the tin. I know I'm a weirdo. Here we go. Yes, there's my trusty canary yellow. Can you hear my dog barking? I don't know what he's up there barking about, but so I'm going to go ahead and put it in where the white, just going to run it right over top of the white here, the white spaces. Yeah, I don't have a pencil case, so I am going to get one though. Actually, it's kind of funny because I went to Michael's Labor Day. They had that 50% off coupon, and I went with the specific thing in mind to purchase the a pencil case, like the ones that everybody has from Amazon that are like teal or pink or black. You'll see them on a lot of channels. And they didn't carry those kind there. I was kind of surprised and disappointed. So I didn't get one. And not at the location I was at anyways. Now there's a couple other locations around my area, and that was the only one I checked. But it's not a big deal to me. It's just that lately I've been having to stay at my mom's for a few days at a time when I go out there for various reasons. And it's kind of cumbersome to carry the Prismacolors the way they are in the big case. So I thought, well, I'll finally break down and get a pencil case, but I can wait until later. It's not like anything urgent. I could always put it on my Christmas list too. I said to Keith, well, I'll just get one at Christmas. And he says, well, you don't have to wait until Christmas to get something you need. And I said, well, yeah, I know that, but I just, didn't really feel like an overwhelming thing. I had to have it, I look at it as like a necessity thing, and those are not anywhere near as fun to have as something like a book that's really cute that I want or anything. So, okay, so I want to make sure you can still see this other pumpkin. So again, not that I need to say this kind of stuff, but I'm not doing any kind of tutorial or anything silly like that. I'm just showing you guys how I'm coloring in these Deborah Muller books. And I don't color like this in all the books. It's just, for some reason, her drawings, I like the colors to be bold and bright and fun. And I just think it works well for her style. But that's just my personal preference. We're all different, and, we all have our own way of doing everything. So I don't know. But I do want to say again, thank you guys so much for having such positive, nice comments. I really appreciate it. It made me feel a lot more at ease with doing this, and not so nervous. I'm not really nervous about making videos ever, because I've got experience with being behind the camera for my Avon videos, but I just, there's coloring, there's people out there that can be mean, and I don't want mean people to talk to me. Doesn't it sound childish? I don't want mean people to talk to me, but they do, and that's a fact of life when you're on YouTube. Now, I've been really blessed, and I haven't experienced very much of that, actually, at all. So I can't really, complain too much. But some people, I've seen it on other channels, and I hope that I don't ever have to deal with that kind of stuff. But if I do, I do, So, okay, now I'll go in again with my white, and I'm going to do the stems here. And I'll probably throw some brown in there. I just really like how the white pops up on top of the markers. I don't know, it's nice. It shows up really well. So, I'm just kind of making little random spots here. So when I asked you guys what should I talk about, somebody said how I met my husband. And I was telling him last night, I said, well, do you care if I talk about anything like that? And he said, no, I don't care. Just don't talk about too much that you shouldn't, because he knows I'm an oversharer. I've always been that way. But I met him online, actually. I met him online. We were both fans of the TV show Ghost Hunters on Sci-Fi, like the Taps Ghost Hunters. And I actually had a boyfriend, and I was living with somebody at the time. I had been in a very long-term relationship that wasn't really going anywhere. We were pretty much more just like companions than any kind of romantic situation. And I had been with that person for quite a while. And so I was on this message board for the Ghost Hunters show on the Sci-Fi Channel, and then there was an offshoot. Someone made another board for it that was like one of those little small tiny message boards, and I went on that, and the person, or he was on there, and it was funny because we ended up being in this from the same part of Michigan, both southeastern Michigan. So I'm trying to decide, do I want to go in with this artichoke on there, or that might be too dark. I don't know. I want something to kind of make it a brownish color that's going to show up. Let me see. What have I got up here? So anyways, yeah, I started talking to him on that message board, and we were together. We talked for years. Actually, this is the truth. We talked for 2 years. The other color is lime peel. I'm going to try artichoke and see how that does. I'm going to get a good tip on it. So we talked for like 2 years, and I had a boyfriend. There was no romance involved. We didn't talk about anything inappropriate or anything like that. We were we just discussed things like horror movies and books and DVDs, and we would trade books. We would send each other books in the mail, and DVDs, we would trade them back and forth and stuff like that. We were like buddies, we talked all the time. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of had that thought in my head. I wonder how it would be, to meet him and everything, but I never did. Well, then in the meanwhile, my relationship was slowly going nowhere. And I was entertaining the possibility of having feelings for him, for Keith. And all of a sudden, he just disappeared. We had chatted online for, like I said, 2 years, and he was suddenly gone. And I didn't know what happened to him. And we didn't, talk on the phone or anything like that. So I didn't have his phone number. I didn't really, I knew his address and everything, but I didn't have a lot of personal details, really. And so I was kind of like, well, that was nice while it lasted. Well, in the meanwhile, I had kind of told my boyfriend, I really don't think this is working out anymore. Neither one of us is happy. We need to find somebody that inspires us to be in love. And, while we're friends, we're not in that kind of way for each other. And so we ended our relationship. Well, then a little while later, I don't remember how much later it was exactly, but I received a letter in the mail from Keith, and he told me that why he had disappeared was because his house had burned. He was in a house fire, and it was very tragic, and his brother and him had been roommates living in this house together, and his brother was hospitalized with severe burns in a burn ward at the hospital, and he had lost his dog. She passed away in the fire, and he was just wanting to be in touch with me. And when he told me, this is like a weird thing, he said that after the house burned, after so much time, he had gone back there, and he was looking for a way, if he could, looking through rubble, and he was wishing that he had memorized my address because he wanted to find a way to reach out to me. So I think the artichoke worked out well there. And I'm going to pick a lighter green for inside that leaf. So he was looking for a way to reach out to me, and he found my address in inside a book. And the book had been burned, and when he opened it up, my address was in there, and the whole paper had, I'm talking with my hands, the whole paper had been singed, except for the part with my address was completely left perfect, so he could read the address. This is spring, here we go, spring green. I'm going to use that for inside that little leaf. And so he wrote me this letter, and he told me what happened, and he put a phone number on there, and I called him, and we talked and talked and talked every day for hours. His brother was in the hospital, but eventually, unfortunately, his brother did pass away, and I don't know, it was it was very difficult for him. His brother and him were best friends, and it was just a really awful tragedy, you know. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a second to just say, I think I'll work on the leaves next. All these little leaves. So let me zoom you back. Oh, wrong way. I got to get the hang of this zooming business. So I got all these little leaves here. I'm going to color those, put some white in there, and then we'll figure out what to put in there, some yellow or red. So after his brother passed right before Christmas, actually, on the 22nd of December in 2006. And so I believe it was 2006. So after, you know, we gave it some time, we were still talking and everything, and then by March of the next year there, he said, well, you've been such a good friend to me, I'd like to make it up, you know, take you out to dinner or something. So we ended up deciding to meet. I was so nervous because I knew by that time that even though I had never set eyes on him in person, I just knew, you know, that he was the one. And so, is that still in camera? Yeah. Okay. So I knew he was the one for me, and we went out, and I don't know, that was just it. I think that was it. We were together ever since, you know. We were just made for each other. So it took a while for us to get to that point, but you know, we both say, well, it happened when it was supposed to and how it was supposed to, even though, again, we don't understand, you know, why things had to happen that particular way, but it did. And I don't know. So that's how I met my husband. And we were married in 2009, in October of 2009. So I'm just throwing in some white spaces here. But yeah, so that's that story. Hope it didn't bore you to death. I don't even know where I'm at. Oh, 22 minutes. Okay. Actually, I'm going to get a drink really quick. It's hard when you talk so much to not be, you get thirsty. But I have a glass of tea with me right now. You probably hear me swallowing. I sound like a horse at the trough. Okay, so I think I just have one more leaf over here, and then that's it. And so then I'll go in and fill those in. Yeah. So I don't know. So, oh my gosh, you guys, the hurricane, right? Like, that's all everybody's talking about right now. It's just, I don't know what's going on. You know, out west is burning, and Texas is still underwater, and it's just terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. So I'm looking for a red-orange type color, maybe some yellow and a brown. Let's see, what do we have in here? Permanent red, poppy. I'll go with poppy. It's a nice red-orange shade. So I have family that lives in Florida, and Keith has family that lives in Florida, and we're really, really concerned about them. Of course, it's just terrible. And then I know there's lots and lots of people on the coloring groups and in the community that live in Florida. The person that comes to my mind immediately is Mona. She's someone that I talk to frequently. She's one of the administrators or moderators on Jen's coloring group. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that one or not. I want something with a little bit more pizzazz. Let's see. We could do some yellow in there. Let's try yellow and see what happens. Well, I don't know. What about brown? See how indecisive I am? This is why it takes me forever to color, because I can't make up my mind to save my stinking life. Alright, let's try... I'm going to try this terracotta. We'll see. That's another thing I do too. Like, I have no plan. I have no plan whatsoever. When I color, I'm like, oh, let's just fly by the seat of our pants and see what happens. So let's try the terracotta and see. Well, that's not great either. But we'll just do a variety and see what happens. So I just hope everybody comes through this and that we're all safe. And nobody has to lose their life. I mean, I know some people already have, and that's like super tragic. You know, it's just awful. Awful, awful that things are the way that they are. I don't understand. I'll try some more yellow. I just don't understand any of it, you know. I said maybe, and I'm the kind of person that believes there's purpose in everything, even though it's really difficult to find purpose. I like the yellow. I like that in there. That maybe the purpose is that this feels like at this particular time in our country, we're so divided. And I said, maybe this is a way to bring us back together, you know, and it's tragedy and it's awful. And I wish that it wasn't this way, but it might help us, you know, if this is going to happen, no matter what, we have no control over it. At least maybe this way we can be brought back together and show that we all really do care about each other and as Americans and everything. I don't know. And then there was an earthquake in Mexico. It's just terrible right now. So I definitely like the yellow in the middle of the leaves there. Making sure you can see that one. I don't know. Again, I'm just blathering on and on. I don't know what to talk about, but I'll figure it out. So I have to do this one here, but I think this one might be out of the view of the camera. So last night I made tacos for dinner for us, and I had a giant pack of hamburger because we don't do anything halfway in this house. So I had like a 4-pound pack of hamburger, right? And Keith said, well, just thaw it out, you know, and use the whole thing. And so I'm like, what are we going to do with 4 pounds of taco meat? Well, what do you think we're going to do? So we had tacos last night for dinner, and there was so much meat left. So today he's going to, I said, well, I could just freeze it, you know, like that. And then we can heat it up later, you know, next week or so. Well, I'll be gone next week, but he could heat it up while I'm not here. And he said, well, let's make, he goes, I'll make burritos tonight. So, we had tacos last night, and tonight we're going to have burritos, and I'll make some rice to go with it. And, yeah, so that's what we're doing tonight for dinner. And I'm actually kind of hungry now. All I've eaten today so far was a bowl of frosted mini wheats. And so I'm starting to get a little bit on the hungry side. I think those leaves look really cute. These two, not so much over here in the corner, but I like these other ones. They're cute. So yeah, that's what we're having. I'm a big taco person though. I like to eat Mexican food a lot. And I've gotten to the point now where I would almost rather make it at home than get it out somewhere, because it's the way I like it, you know, fixed how I enjoy it. So yeah, so I'm good with that. Like, I love to make enchiladas. I make enchiladas a lot, chicken and beef. And Keith's always made good bean burritos. Actually, as a matter of fact, when we very first got together and we were still just kind of trying the waters and seeing if we were going to be a couple or not, he said, you want to come over? I'll make you dinner. I'll make bean burritos. And I was like, oh, bean burritos, they're not my favorite. But of course I wanted to be with him. So I was like, sure, that sounds great. They were so good. He makes the best bean burritos forever. He takes, I'm going to put some white in her hat and on the dress too. Where are we at? 29. Okay, yeah, I still got time. So, he takes taco seasoning and puts it, in his beans while he's cooking them, and he chops up green onions and puts it in there too. So he uses, vegetarian refried beans or fat-free usually. I like for some reason the fat-free ones, and we're not big dieters or anything here, but obviously if you've seen me, but they just taste better to me for some reason. I don't know what exactly, but the vegetarian or the fat-free, either one of those, I think they taste better than the regular ones. So he takes the taco seasoning and green onion, and he cooks the beans, and then he puts them in his burrito shells with like extra sharp cheddar cheese and some taco sauce, like smooth taco sauce. Like you think he usually gets the Old El Paso. Is that the one in the glass bottle with the blue lid, I think? And then he wraps them up and heats them again. Oh, they're so good. And then we're really big guacamole eaters in this house. Like, we love the guacamole. So we gotta have that too. And yeah, really, really yummy though. Okay, so I'm trying to decide a color that's gonna highlight this well, without being weird. So I gotta find something. Let's see. I don't know. You guys can't answer me. Should I do red? Should I do... let's see. I'm thinking like a berry. I know I just put my arm in front of the camera. I'm thinking of like a berry type shade, or maybe magenta. Let's try magenta, because that'll make it be... Well, let me see. See how indecisive I am, you guys? What's this one? This one's processed red. I don't think I want that one. I'm gonna try pomegranate. Pomegranate, one of my favorites. We'll try that and see how it works. What do we got to lose? It's just coloring, right? So it can't be anything